Record. Hey Similes, it's Deligracy here, and I am building a split level house for you guys. The start of this video, you'll probably notice it's a little bit different to what you guys are used to, and that's because I actually did this build, or the build half of it on a live stream. So I've just kind of showed you guys how it's pieced together, or at least tried to, in this somewhat of a fail of a time-lapse video. So sorry about that, but I really loved this house. And I loved experimenting with split levels, and I just really wanted to share it on the channel away from Twitch. So that's what I'm doing right now, and we're going to be finishing it together in this video. So you can watch the full live stream on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Deligracy if you want to, or hopefully some of this will be good to look at in any case. But anyways, this house is going to have a master bedroom with an ensuite, and then 2 kids' bedrooms with their own bathrooms as well. And then there's also an extra room that could be a 4th bedroom that we're just going to use as a gym in this build. So it's a pretty useful house, especially if you have a big growing family. And the way we're finishing it is in a very kind of beachy, lots of light woods, lots of white walls kind of way. And I don't know, I really like it. It's a bit beige for me personally, but I liked the idea of making a house that a bit of a neat freak would live in. I think actually the family we created to live here on the live stream included a neat freak guy. Was it this house? I think it was. No. Was it? No, I think I'm getting mixed up now. It wasn't this house. But in any case, I'm taking inspiration from that idea of having someone who's really neat, who likes really beige furniture, or someone who's really, I don't know, maybe they're stereotypically a real business kind of sim and they just like everything beige and neat and white, but still they can afford a really beautiful home made by an amazing architect. That's kind of what I'm going with. Yes, it's stereotypical, but I kind of like working with some stereotypical storylines. I don't know. I think because, to be honest, the funny thing about stereotypes is that it's so far from real life that it's not a stereotype. Do you guys get what I mean, or did I completely just confuse you? I don't know. We'll see how we go. But in any case, I enjoy using split levels. I can barely talk right now because I don't know, I kind of find it refreshing building a house from the inside to the outside as opposed to the other way around. Usually when I do a speed build, we do the exterior and make that look kind of cool, and then we'll start doing the floor plan inside. But for this build, it was different because it was like, let's just make a really cool floor plan, and then let's just try and make the outside of it work. So in here we have a really lovely open big living area. It's like all the living areas are kind of joined. So we have this kitchen where you can also see over to Sunken Lounge room, which is kind of cool. And then there's also going to be like a closed off, I don't know, I guess you could call it a theater room or a rumpus room or just another lounge. And then we have some desks and computers sitting on the other side of the Sunken Lounge, which is kind of cool. In this part, we spend a lot of time with planning out the wallpaper for the kitchen area. The reason why I took so long on this was because I was actually trying to set the whole tone for the rest of the house, quite literally. So we're picking out which wallpapers work together, which ones I think suit the house, and that kind of works for the rest of the house and kind of sets the color palette for it. But I don't know, I think this is a really cool house. I think it would be really interesting to recolor it and kind of make it suit your personal Sims character's needs by just using the swatch tool or the change swatch tool. We've just put on the move objects cheat just now just to obviously overlay some objects. And I loved this idea of putting the ovens behind the archway and the fridge behind the archway. That idea was actually, someone in the chat said that, and I was like, that's really cool. Now I want to do this all the time in all of my builds. Because, I don't know, the fridge thing really frustrates me because I really don't like the fact that the fridges don't fit flush next to stoves and bench tops. I don't know, I just wish they did join up, but Again, I guess in real life, fridges don't really join up to your bench tops unless you're one of those lucky people who have their fridge inside a cupboard and a cupboard door attached to the fridge. So when you open your cupboard, it actually opens the fridge. I think that's pretty cool. I've never lived with that though. How many of you guys have a fridge cupboard? Oh my gosh, it makes me think of On the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Gosh, I have to stop referencing that show. But Yolanda's glass fridge, if you guys have seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But basically, one of the women in the show has this glass fridge she designed herself. And it's like, it is what it sounds like. It's a glass fridge. So it's like glass doors and you can see straight into it and you see all these amazing baskets of vegetables and fruit like displayed on all the glass shelves. It's kind of ridiculous. Let's be honest, everything on that show is ridiculous, but I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, this was made to go on a lot in Windenburg that's right near the ocean on the private island area. I don't think the lot's too big. I think it's 30 by 40. So it's not the biggest one, but it's pretty spacious. And this house, I love how there's a bar within that kitchen. Like it's a nice big kitchen. This house is definitely made for entertaining. If your Sims love to party, it would be an awesome house to throw lots of parties at. And this part was actually really difficult to figure out, this Sunken Lounge. What I really, really wanted to have in this part was, or for this part of the build, was in the new game pack coming out soon, The Sims 4 Dine Out. That has, by the looks of the trailer, it shows that the game pack will have sofas and lounges that you can make into L shapes and like wrap around and stuff. I just wish we had that because it would have been perfect to just join up one mega lounge on either side of the Sunken Lounge, because you can see right now I'm really struggling to make those couches kind of intersect nicely onto the other side of the Sunken Lounge. It's just not really working. I'm trying to use counters to join with the couches because I felt like we needed to fix up the staircases over there and put some separation in. In the end, we do leave the counters as is, but we are going to change the color to gray so it's a little less stark. I felt like the white was kind of cool, but a little bit too much. So we do take it down to gray, which makes it blend into the rest of the house's environment a little bit more nicely, and there's better sense of unity and it just works better. So yeah, and the kitchen's already pretty white, so it's good to have something a little less in your face in the build because obviously the kitchen's already making a pretty big statement. These couches I like, and I tried putting 4 of them there, but it was just like, whoa, the same couch over and over again. So we do try having these matching armchairs that are in a different color on either side. And I think I leave them there for a little bit, but in the end we change them to ottomans because it just looks a lot more balanced and nicer. So yeah, I think that'll work once we get rid of them. You'll see what I'm talking about. Another challenge with this build was figuring out what to actually put on these counters. I think it was tricky because there's just so much space. And in The Sims 4, we don't have a lot of decor objects, so it's kind of like, what should I put there? Awkward. So we're just kind of figuring out how we can put a few things on there and make it still look lived in and not just sparse. So I was intersecting these shelves, and in the end I felt like they looked like a little bit too much. So I think we only leave 1 shelf on there, which I kind of like, because at the moment it's just, yeah, it's too much right now. I don't think it looks very good, so we'll get rid of it soon. And yeah, I don't know, it just bothers me looking at it, so I'm glad I changed that up. Definitely glad. But I just love how open the kitchen is and how the kitchen looks down onto the lounge room. I feel like someone would be cooking in the kitchen and talking to someone lying on the couch, just being like, honey, how was school today? Or like, I don't know, do you guys want another piece of, I don't know, piece of pie? Who knows? But I also kind of like the idea of having some greenery in there. You'll see there's kind of a plant potted on the other side of the walkway to the right of the Sunken Lounge. And it's just this long strip of greenery, or a hedge on the inside, which in my future house, I think it would be awesome to be able to grow things like inside of your house, bring the outdoors indoors. That would be pretty amazing. I remember Kim Kardashian and Kanye West were talking about having a wall of greenery in their crazy house they were building. I don't really keep up with the times anymore. I do not keep up with the Kardashians anymore. I just got sick of them. That's just me. It's fine if you still watch them, of course, but me personally, I just got over it. So I don't watch it anymore. But yeah, that wall idea though, that stuck with me. That sounded really cool. I was like, ooh, I like that. I also like stacking those boxes on the left there. I think that looks kind of cool because it's slightly off center, the one on top of the other one, and it definitely makes it look pretty realistic. So the move objects on cheat, if you go Control-Shift-C, it'll open up a little cheat box, and then you can go bb.moveobjects. And I do space on, not everyone does, but I just do that out of habit, I think. And then once you do that, you can intersect all your objects, cross them over, turn them on any angle. Actually, you can already do that. If you just hold down Alt, you can spin an object on any angle, which is really handy. And I always get asked how I do that. So there you go. This little area here was like a blank area that I really was thinking, what am I going to put here to fill it up? So I just thought another seating spot would be good. It's kind of like the seating spot before you go out the front door to go somewhere. So I imagine you would be putting your shoes on here, or you'd chuck your school bag onto that couch when you come into the house or leave, or briefcase or whatever. Handbag and car keys, and the list goes on. But yeah, I just thought that was probably best there. Good way to use up all the room as well, all that extra space. And you could close off the office space, you know, you could make that into a windowed wall that looks onto the Sunken Lounge and put doors on either side, so you can make that like an enclosed workspace. I would probably do that once I started playing in this house, but for the actual build itself and for the sake of the photos, I was like, oh, it's so nice and open. It's just like one mother trucker open entertaining room, and I love it. I also enjoyed repeating these paintings in the corner for a change, and we've put a nice kind of very light, subtle green on the walls over here too. So just a little bit of color in the house so we don't go crazy seeing all beiges and wood colors. Just something a little bit nice there. And those ottomans, I think, just look way better. And I do love that light hanging down. I think that's pretty. This corner lends itself quite nicely to have a piano there. Just another thing that I think, makes the house look even more expensive and affluent, having that big piano there. Be good to get some more instruments in the game, actually. So hopefully we get some more. I'd love a drum kit because I used to play the drums. So I have a soft spot for any drummers out there watching. You guys are my people. I love a drummer. I totally think we're a special kind. No, I'm being sarcastic if you can't tell, but I just really like people who play the drums because I have that in common with you. And I just love playing the drums. It was fun. Those were the good days. I don't play anymore, but I'd love to get a drum kit when I have extra money in my pocket where I can just be like, hey, I'm going to go buy a drum kit today. That's a personal aim of mine. That would be really, really cool. This little area here is either you can call it the cinema, you can call it the rumpus room or the lounge area, or secondary lounge. But really the idea for this room was to work with intersecting those tables with, or end tables, or hallway tables with these couches, because they are kind of the same color and wood. So I thought intersecting them would go really well. There wasn't a two-seat sofa of this kind though, which was kind of weird. I always thought there was a two-seater. I don't know if I was blind or if there just isn't one, which is kind of annoying. But in the end, we make it work. I think it works okay. And I love using the foundation on either side of this sunken area as shelving. So we actually put quite a few items along there, and it makes it look really lived in and a little bit more cozy. And in the end, I actually completely shut off this room because I felt like if it was a movie room, you don't want to be disturbed from the main entertaining area. So that's why we do that, which is kind of fun. And I do like a sneaky candelabra. I love a candelabra. I think they look so pretty. And I have been getting into candles recently, actually. It's really weird. I used to never like candles, and just recently I just appreciate the zen factor of them. And it just feels nice to light one. I don't know. It's really weird. And I also love burning essential oil. A lavender one on like an oil burner. I was given one for my birthday stream by John, or Brillo Buffalo, and he actually helps me a lot with building my computer, which is really awesome because a lot of you guys already know I'm not actually much of a computer guru at all. Most YouTuber gamer people have a really, really good idea of how to build computers, or most gamers in general, but I don't know what happened. I just did not get that memo. I'm a graphic designer. I've used Mac my whole life until I did YouTube, and I was forced to go play The Sims on a PC for better quality for you guys, which is fine, but Mac was all the knowledge I had, so I rely very heavily on Brillo Buffalo to actually help me with my computer, which is awesome. And he actually got that oil burner for me, so that was pretty cool. It's a pretty good present. Actually, I got lots of lovely gifts from you guys, so thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. They were lovely. And here we are, closing off that wall, popping in a door and some blinds there. So that room is a lot darker, and it just feels like you could curl up on those couches and just shut the curtains and watch a movie at any time of day or night, and it would be really nice. One thing this house doesn't have is a fireplace, and the reason why I didn't put in the fireplace is because in the Sunken Lounge room, it automatically kind of lifted up to the foundation level, so it wasn't on the ground. And I didn't know if the Sims could actually light it. So if you do download this house off the gallery, then it will be interesting to see if you can actually work the fire from that little height implication. So I don't know. We also had to put in a main bathroom here just next to the entrance, and it fits in quite nicely. So there is a main bathroom in the house plus an ensuite for each bedroom except for the potential fourth bedroom. But that is like right across from the main bathroom anyways. And one other thing to keep in mind about this build is that I did have it in my head I wanted to make a very simple build with a lot of space to walk around in. So I deliberately kind of didn't want to furnish this house as much as previous builds. So you'll notice there's a lot more uncluttered spaces. I think mostly in the main living room. Things like kitchen benches don't have as much stuff on them, and I don't know, I just liked that idea. This is an interesting color, this teal greeny blue. I think it's more of a green teal. Is teal green? I don't know, but I feel like teal is green. But these paintings are pretty much blended seamlessly into that wall. So I thought that was really nice for the master bedroom with the black accents, and it definitely gives this room, it leaves this room open to really any kind of sim could live there. And it's not really gender specific either, which I really like, so that's good. And there's also a nice little wardrobe area here. If you wanted to, you could put the walk-in wardrobes from the Sims 4 Get Together in that area above the staircase there. So that's kind of cool. And if you didn't notice, it is a sunken bedroom, and then you go up the stairs to either go to the lounge room or to the bathroom or the ensuite on the other side, which is kind of cool. And then in the little corner near the entrance is actually a little study area, little study nook. So the master bedroom Sims do have their own study spot if they would like it. And right here I was trying to find a carpet that had the same orange color as the paintings, and it was really hard to actually find. So most of the oranges didn't match. This is the issue with not having custom colors or custom swatches available. It's just really hard to match up colors. So we had, I guess, a bit of difficulty with that. And I think that kind of Aztec-y rug was one of the best things that could work there. And I like that it's not quite perfect. It's just, I don't know, it makes the room look a little bit more interesting. It gives it a little bit more character than the rest of the house. So I don't know if the sim who lives here has like one side of the couple is like a really controlling neat freak, and they're like, okay, to the other side of the couple who's like more creative, they're like, okay, you can do whatever you want with the master bedroom, that's your space, but I'm decorating the rest of the house. I don't know. And so they made the rest of the house beige, but yeah. Anyway, I just like making up little stories for the Sims that are going to live here. That's what really makes me have fun with the Sims, just letting my imagination run pretty wild. And these bathrooms, I just felt like we needed to change the tiles in them. I wanted a more neutral tile. The other ones just didn't suit the rest of the house. They were too rich in color, and I wanted to make it much more neutral. So I stripped it back a bit. And again, if you guys want to change it, it's really easy to. So you just choose different swatches, and then you can pretty much customize the house to be anything that you want, which is good. So these are the two en-suites for the rooms at the other end of the house. It's kind of good that there's a kid's wing of the house, and also those bedrooms are really close to the study spot, or the study nook just above the sunken lounge room in the living area. So it's kind of like the kids could use that as their homework spot with the two computers, which I kind of liked. And this room at the front of the house, this would be another bedroom, and you could have two Sims in here sharing a bedroom, and those two insets in the wall or in the room, those could be where the two single beds go, which I thought was kind of nice. So there was a bit of an idea of a floor plan there, but I thought for now, and for first moving in your Sims, a gymnasium would probably be good until you build up the family a little bit. At least that's what I thought for my game. And there's this obvious color scheme of blues and blacks and lots of mirrors. I overlay the mirrors with the Move Objects cheat on, and then I use the 9 key to lift another set of mirrors on top of that set in order to make it a mirror that goes from ground to the top of the ceiling. And these two bedrooms are kind of matching. The idea was to make a his and a her bedroom. So we're going with the very stereotypical pink for girl, blue for boy, that kind of thing. The boy and the girl twin rooms, which I know for a lot of you is like cringe. But I think it goes quite well with this house. With the house story I've made up of the person who owns it being very traditional, very much wanting a very clean house, beige couches, all of that. So the kids will have a blue and a pink room, you know what I mean? Not my personal taste, but potential Sims' personal taste. So there you go. And in the blue room, I do like matching the wall colors to some of the furniture colors. I think it makes it tie in really nicely, and it just works. It just looks nice. And then we've got lots of toys around the place and lots of... Wow, did I just give you guys a surprise then? I felt like that was really abrupt and loud. Lots of toys. And it's going to have a wardrobe there, a desk area there with a computer. These guys are obviously loaded because all the kids have computers that are really high tech in their bedrooms. There's a toy box too. We're just adding in a school bag and some sports stuff into the gym. And then airplane, violin, just in case you feel like taking up some music. And then the girls' room is going to have lots and lots of pink. Pink, pink, pink is what we're going with in this build. For the girls' room, I do like all the posters on the wall, and I like that the poster on the right ties in with all the blue colors in the room because it has soft blues and greens in it. So I find it's just all about tying in colors. And I did think that the outdoors needed a kids area too. So we put a few kids objects outside, which is where we placed that modern dollhouse. So here's the girls' room. We are doing the same idea of matching the bedspread to the walls. And this girl's going to have a dollhouse and a pink lamp and lots of girly pink toys and some drapery as well above the bed over that painting. And the landscaping for this house, I haven't recorded it because, I don't know, the landscaping sometimes takes a while, and I thought there wasn't really anything special about the landscaping in this video. It was more just to finish off the house and make it look complete and refined. So you'll see it in the screenshots, but I'm not going to actually show you the whole process. If you do want to learn more about landscaping, I did do a landscaping tutorial video not long ago, so you can check that out if you like. And I did enjoy using this bright pink wall hanging just there, and I think it ties in really nicely with the very vibrant pink wardrobe as well. So that was all good and well. And we're just going to do a few things here at the front of the house where the pool is. We're going to add in just like a seating area once we've done this kiddie area. And yeah, just keeping it really simple. It's nothing too crazy. And I think this house is really expensive. I think it's like a 200,000 simoleons. So you might need to cheat a little bit to move in. But that's okay because I cheat too. Nice green hedges as well, and we will be going into the screenshots in just a second. So we shall check those out. I do like that umbrella and table. I really like that. Me likey. It looks like a nice little cozy sitting area in the corner there. But anyways, here is the completed house. I love the roofing on this house. It's very experimental. It's very different to anything I've done before. And I think it was a good way to figure out how to utilize just a really plain flat roof and make it look a bit more dynamic and a bit more interesting. This is a shot of the interior, the sunken lounge, and the kitchen with those counters that have been turned to grey. The chandelier is really an iconic part of the build. It does bring a center to that huge room, which I think is important visually, because otherwise it's like, wow, it's so big and spacious. Where do my eyes go? But that center light kind of anchors it. So I think that works quite well. Love the bar. Love it for entertaining. Oh, I want to live here. I always say that about my houses. There's a little rumpus room, cinema room from a few angles with a nice big vintage painting. Why did I make that cover up the window? Well, I'm going to move that in live mode if and when I use this house. Another shot of the lounge there too, looking out to the other side, and you can see some of the bookshelves. Here's the master bedroom with the stairs up to the wardrobe, the little study nook. And do we take a shot of the bathroom? Yeah, there's a little bathroom in there. So it's very simple and very clean looking. And there's the study area. As I said, you could close that off if you wanted it to be away from the main entertaining area. But I would put windows in there. That's what I would suggest. The girls' room, the boys' room, and nice view out that window, by the way. I think I'd prefer the guys' room. Shotgun. That's an awesome room. And also a nice view of the pool there with a blue pool ladder and kiddie area. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this build, and I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. I'll speak to you soon.